We're gonna be reacting to what's it called? It's right here. The Liver King's downfall. So let's get straight into it.
$100 million a year to making the classic YouTuber apology video in his basement.
Finals. I'm making this video to apologize.
This man does not look natural.
Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied.
He spent months claiming that his hulking physique was the result of his quote ancestral lifestyle.
What the frick is that? What kind of meat is that?
And absolutely nothing else.
Let me just tell you this. This hair has never seen shampoo. This body doesn't see soap ever in terms of grooming. I'm my primal, wild, free version of myself. For the record, it's Natty.
But then the truth came out.
Leaked emails, blood test results, and a full steroid cycle breakdown. That's what we're going to be getting into in this video, and it is shocking to say the least.
And despite his attempts to justify his actions,
why do I do them? When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic.
So you're one part? Let that sink in.
the Liver King lost everything and was subsequently forgotten by the internet. Now, 2.5 years later, he's trying to make a comeback, starting with a Netflix documentary. Unfortunately for the Liver King, it's not going as well as he likely hoped. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're examining the frankly pathetic comeback attempts of the Liver King. What made him famous in the first place, how he practically lost everything overnight, and what he's up to now. And as you'll see throughout this video, this is far from his first attempt at regaining relevance on the internet. Before the Liver King persona took over, Brian Johnson was a successful but relatively
Bro ripped a perfectly good suit. That's not necessary. Like, dude.
ordinary businessman. Him and his wife ran several health and fitness supplement brands, the most notable being Ancestral Supplements, which featured beef liver and other organs as its core ingredients. This was also the brand that became the foundation for his Liver King identity when he burst onto social media in summer of 2021. The Liver King went viral across the internet soon after his debut, partially because of his impressive physique and unique appearance, but mostly because of just how gross his content was. He would regularly post videos of himself eating raw meat, livers, and other
God, I forgot how disgusting this guy is.
organs to the displeasure of everyone on the internet. According to Brian, this was his way of embracing a more primal lifestyle, one he claimed mirrored that of ancient humans, completely regarding the fact that humans were cooking their food as far back as 2 million years ago. Now, not everything he promoted was as extreme as eating raw liver every day. One of his teachings was about what he called the 9 ancestral tenets, which included things like sleeping more, eating healthy, doing more exercise, and making meaningful
I get horrible sleep, so I've already ruined one of these things.
Connections with others. However, while all of these are good things on their own, Brian promoted them as a way for others to achieve what he had.
What you need to do is learn about the root cause, these 9 ancestral tenets, that will optimize your hormones and optimize your neurochemistry. You're going to be so happy and so fulfilled and have so much energy, so much positivity, so much love and light to share with the
You'll get more positive if you just go to the gym. Like, all the stuff he's talking, not all of the stuff, but most of the stuff he's talking about, you can get just by working out and eating better. I mean, you can't get to a point like he's talking about, obviously. You can only get there with steroids, unless you really try. I'm just gonna shut up and let you watch the video.
world.
When, in reality, these were nothing more than common health advice simply repackaged in the Liver King branding, all with the sole purpose of selling more supplements. Think of it this way, when someone followed the 9 tenets and didn't end up looking like the Liver King, they assumed it was because they weren't eating raw meat and organs like he did. However, most people are far too grossed out by that kind of diet to even try it once. That's where the Liver King switched swooped in with a miraculous solution to this problem: his ancestral supplements, which according to him provided the same benefits as eating raw organs without the gross out factor.
If you want to be a top king, if you want unlimited access to cars, money, and if you want to find your queen, then you have to fuel your efforts with ancestral supplements, liver, beef organs, and bone marrow with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because liver is king.
Of course, this was nothing more than marketing nonsense. You see, the whole premise of the Liver King's content and products was that following his advice would allow his viewers to become just as jacked as him, when in reality that wasn't even possible. Many, including Joe Rogan, called him out for being juiced up on steroids.
Have you seen that bloke that eats just the raw?
No, that's a gimmick, that guy.
It just looks ridiculous. He's got a plate of hearts and he just looks weird.
He's got an ass filled with steroids is what he's got.
Yeah, he should have a big plate of steroids next to it.
That is not a natural body.
Some even suspected him of getting plastic surgery to make his abs look more
I agree with that one. His abs do not look natural. They look like plastic surgery.
defined.
My opinion is that Liver King probably had etching of his abs.
Is this you relax?
So here's the thing, I'm going to tell you. Okay. I've been flexing my abs for so many years when I take my shirt off.
Hey, wait,
for me,
turn off all the camera. Let me see unflexed, and I can tell people if it's ab etching or not.
And I can actually almost sleep. You're almost programmed with your abs to be a little bit flexed.
If they're the same unflexed, then we have a little bit of a situation.
Brian, however, continued to deny these allegations and kept claiming that he was completely natural whenever someone confronted him about it.
A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was all about like PEDs and steroids, right? And then, you know, same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff, don't touch the stuff, right?
Joe Rogan criticized you. Joe Rogan's a big person in terms of his platform. Big. How did that feel when he said, he alluded that you're on steroids or something like that?
Yeah, number one, I don't do it. And number two, what I want you to say is, you know what, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that guy, in fact, he did say he's in the 0.00001% of genetics if he does it naturally.
What is the Liver King's response to this claim that the Liver King is hormonally improved by science?
The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no.
And while many in the fitness industry didn't believe his claims,
aside from eating raw meat and having a beard, there's nothing ancestral about this guy. He's training with
sorry for that, I spilled my drink.
high-tech equipment, training properly, progressive overload. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I don't think he's natural. Don't believe that.
hundreds of thousands of ordinary viewers did, resulting in him selling more useless supplements and becoming even richer in the process. But just when the Liver King saw himself as untouchable, everything came crashing down almost overnight. His downfall began with a single hour-long video from a channel called More Plates, More Dates, simply titled The Liver King Lie. The host of this channel, Derek, actually discovered the Liver King just months after his online debut and called him out for being on performance-enhancing drugs.
You know, he looks, I don't know, deceivingly on Natty, to be honest, or deceivingly, what would be the proper description of this guy?
How many years had he worked out before he started his channel? What would he look like if he got off the roids? That's my question.
He does not look natty really at all.
Despite this early expose, Brian continued his shtick of showing off his physique online and using it to promote his supplements. So Derek decided to dig deeper and uncovered undeniable proof of the allegations he'd made against Brian in his first video. He found an email Brian sent to a fitness coach asking for advice, and it contained the whole truth clear as day.
But as I've reached my mid-40s, it's getting harder and the back fat me. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope. So if you guys don't know Omnitrope, this is pharmacy-grade human growth hormone. The brand, it is created by the pharmaceutical company Sandoz, I believe it is.
In the email, the Liver King not only admitted to using multiple steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, but also revealed his absurdly high dosage, as in his own words, he was spending as much as $11,000 a month on these physique-enhancing.
Whoa, that's $11,000 a month? That's just way too much. Like, bro, get a life. You already got a wife, so like, get a life. And can somebody like show me his bed, because like, I remember in one of his shows, I watched him when he was so big, everyone did. He said he slept on hardwood. Like, I need to see this guy's bedroom, like, right now. Did he sleep on hardwood, or did he sleep on a nice comfortable bed? That is my favorite, no paying attention.
Juices. This revelation shattered the trust of his loyal followers and exposed him for what he truly was, a fraud. This prompted him to quickly put together an apology video, which, in true YouTuber apology fashion, only made the situation worse. Because while it started off okay, with him admitting fault and apologizing right out of the gate,
I'm making this video to apologize. Because I f***ed up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people.
He immediately followed this up by bragging about his wealth.
Because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Not only that, but him saying that he never expected this kind of exposure was also a complete lie, since in the leaked email, he also talked about hiring a team to build the Liver King brand and hoping to hit 1 million followers by March 2022. And the rest of the apology wasn't any better either. At one point, he even tried to justify his actions by claiming he didn't believe he was cheating anyone.
I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the f*** am I cheating?
Completely ignoring the tens, if not hundreds of thousands of customers he deceived into believing that they could look just like him by taking his supplements. And if that wasn't bad enough, he somehow reached the conclusion that he was lying to raise awareness about depression, self-esteem issues, tendencies that others face on a daily basis.
Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message.
I don't think it's controlled, bro. I think you're just taking the needles and just...
To bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, the 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record.
Am I remembering things? He's not talking about himself anymore? Trying to get himself out of this?
Rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living.
As comments under the apology pointed out, quote, "I lied because people are themselves" is a wild take. This is equivalent of "I cheated on you because I love you so much." This terrible apology also drew criticism from other YouTubers and creators, including PewDiePie.
I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind.
Oh my god. I'm reacting to a video of a man reacting to a video.
So who the f*** am I cheating?
Your entire audience. You built your entire brand around being natural.
So, I'm sitting here recording this right now, or not recording, editing this. That was a stupid comment.
Ancestral, living like the caveman.
And Charlie.
80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life.
This is all very sweet and everything, but you deliver a message and then sell products based around the message, of which you just admitted a large portion of it, your physique, is a lie. Now, if you were just like a motivational speaker or just like a normal YouTuber, Instagram guy who delivers positive messages, that's one thing. You being on steroids and everything, like, that's not that big of a deal. But the fact that you constantly defended being Natty and sell all these programs based around it, and then aren't actually the result of those things you talk about, is pretty misleading, which he does admit.
Ultimately, the backlash eroded any goodwill people had toward him, leaving the Liver King brand tarnished forever. It was even hit with a $25 million class action lawsuit from customers who felt misled by his lies. And while this lawsuit was settled out of court, the damages these events did to his reputation remained. The smart move for him would have been to retire from the internet and focus on running his business just like he did before 2021. However, by this point, the Liver King was addicted to the attention he received from social media media. So instead of quitting, Liver King began plotting a comeback, and the plan he devised was worse than anyone could have imagined. Things started off good, with him promising to go completely natty just a week after getting exposed.
I'll also answer your question. I believe so deeply in this message, in the 9 ancestral tenets, in the ancestral living. To answer your question, yes.
You would go natty?
Yes.
So are you going natty? That's it?
Yes.
But he was also desperate to win back his lost audience, and the only way he thought he could do that was by making his content even more gross and shocking than it was before.
Modern world, we like to have our bowl of cereal, don't we? This is a primal version of your bowl of cereal. I got my testicles in farm fresh milk.
He's eating milk with knives. Is he sure that's milk?
From Liver King Ranch, the most feared warriors, the Maasai.
He also began involving his wife and his kids in his content, having them eat the same disgusting foods as he did.
Valentine's Day is about spending time with the people that you love most. And there's no people that I love most more than my liver queen. Eat your heart out.
Putting the sheer grossness aside, viewers also noticed that despite his claims of going natural, he wasn't losing much muscle. In fact, his skin was getting more and more red with each passing day, which is a telltale sign of steroid usage. However, Brian kept claiming to be natty until a video from Charlie forced the truth out of him. In August 2023, Charlie uploaded a video titled "Liver King is Looking Bad," discussing the current state of the Liver King and how far he's fallen since getting exposed.
I actually did watch this video. He made some really good claims. They were all great claims. I have nothing to say.
He's doing the exact same stuff as he was prior to having all of the steroid usage come to light. But it looks like he's aged 20 years in the last 8 months. It looks like he's one testicle sandwich away from actually exploding. In every TikTok I've seen of him, his body is bright red. It looks like Arnold's face in the movie Total Recall when he takes his helmet off in space and his eyes pop out of his skull, like right before blowing up. That's what Liver King's body looks like. It looks like it is struggling to stay in one piece.
Brian saw this video and decided to upload a response. In an attempt to prove Charlie wrong, he started by openly admitting that while he did go natural for 220 days, he was now back on the source. But it was okay because he mentioned it on his website.
So Moist Critical calls me out, says that I'm back on steroids, has a whole bunch of accusations. Here's what I have to say back. Moist Critical, you're late to the party. All you had to do was go to liverking.com. All of it's there, all of it.
Not realizing that this only made him look more guilty, with comments like, "He never stopped, and now he doesn't have to hide it. He's admitting to 10% of what he's actually taking, and forget being an influencer."
Wow. All you have to do is check the website.
Liver King should be a politician. He talks.
Who's going to your website and just gonna look at your crap, just on a regular basis?
Truly cared about transparency, he would have made a video telling his viewers about his relapse, not quietly writing it on his website where most of his audience would never see it. But that's the thing, the only thing Liver King cares about is regaining the massive audience he once had. Which brings us to his latest comeback attempt, and the brand new grift is cooked up to go with it. In April 2025, Netflix released the trailer for their upcoming documentary on Brian, titled Untold: The Liver King. This trailer made it sound like something similar to The Tiger King, with an in-depth expose and a behind-the-scenes look on the life of the Liver King. Now, it's possible the documentary began production back when Brian still had some relevance online. Maybe he even thought that this would be the ticket to becoming popular once again. But by this point, no one really cared to learn more about him, something made painfully clear by the number of dislikes received on the trailer. And the comments under it were even more brutal, with viewers writing things such as, "Netflix finally found the bottom," and "He paid Netflix to put this one on there." People were also angry at Netflix for giving him a platform in the first place. Put simply, expectations for the documentary were already on the floor even before it dropped. And unfortunately for the Liver King, its release only made the situation worse, as the few people who did watch it were left utterly disappointed. Instead of the deep expose they were promised, the whole thing felt like one big justification for why Brian lied to his audience. From him trying to farm sympathy by claiming he discovered the ancestral lifestyle while searching for a cure for his sick children, to straight up coming up with excuses for lying to millions of people. Brian also spent most of this documentary trying to present himself as this changed man, someone who lives off of fruits and does absurd rituals like
off of fruits, bro was just eating testicles like 5 minutes ago. He has gray eyes.
thanking each piece of fruit before eating it. Given his long track record of lies, it's easy to assume he was lying here too, even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he really quit steroids and now lives on fruit and veggies. It doesn't matter, because in the end, this new image is just a setup for his next hustle, building over 300 ranches where people can stay and live close to nature. That said, despite everything he's done and continues to do, Liver King Supplement Company is still raking in millions. And that's not too surprising when you consider the fact that the supplement industry is worth over $150 billion globally. It's an industry built on selling promises, often targeting vulnerable or impressionable people, searching for quick fixes and better health. Many of his customers probably don't even know who the Liver King is, let alone the long list of controversies tied to his name. However, while his business continues to thrive in the background, his presence on the internet is a different story. His documentary was a flop, the engagement on his social media posts is abysmal, people just don't care anymore, and there's nothing he can do now to change that. And there's nothing he can do now to make things better. That said, he can make things even worse for himself, and it seems like he just did. As I was working on this video,
he already ruined it.
The Liver King found a new shtick to farm engagement online, threatening Joe Rogan of all people. He started posting bizarre, almost
that's one man you don't mess with.
Incoherent videos almost out of nowhere, challenging Rogan to a fight.
For anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us.
This was...
So basically, you're challenging him because you feel bad about yourself. And why'd you call into the shot like a month ago?
A full circle moment for the Liver King, since Rogan was one of the first public figures to call him out for lying about his steroid usage.
Have you seen that bloke that eats just the raw?
No, that's a gimmick, that guy.
It just looks ridiculous. He's got a plate of hearts and it just looks weird.
He's got an ass filled with steroids is what he's got.
Yeah, he should have a big plate of steroids next to it.
That is not a natural body.
Of course.
Now, it's unclear if Brian was angry about that now after so many years, or if this was nothing more than a publicity stunt. What was clear, however, was that the Liver King seemed to be under the influence of something serious when making this challenge, as evident from one of his pupils being extremely dilated compared to the other, which also might explain why, after getting completely ignored by Rogan, he had the bright idea to travel to Texas and threaten him with guns in his hands.
Today's Liver King, man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. Yeah, I have zero training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me. But I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules. Whatever you want me to weigh, I'll weigh it. I weighed 190 this morning. I'll come to you whenever you're ready to go.
He even brought a box with a gun inside, which he said was a quote gift for Rogan.
It's a gun on top of cash, like he thinks he's in the... I don't know what he was gonna do with this fuck. But he took that box, okay? He says it's a present, a gift for Joe Rogan, and he takes it with him to Austin, Texas while he's in the hotel.
Family car, my boys, my queen, our dogs. We come bearing gifts for those that deserve it. See you here in a minute. That's how we do in Texas. Welcome to...
Bro, I feel like he's high. He sounds like he's high.
The Texas Joe Rogan. Oh, he forgot.
This was a step too far, resulting in Brian getting arrested as soon as he left his hotel, and getting charged for making a terroristic threat. And while he's out on bail now, this feels like it's only the beginning of the end for the Liver King, though only time will tell.
Anyways, this is the channel. Check him out. Right here, check him out. Go watch some of his videos. Wow. I guess that's it. Bye.